Hey everybody, this is Shit and Kai, and welcome to my review of the Forces of Valor 1x700 scale Ark Royal model. Now, as usual, I'd like to talk about the history of this warship before I talk about the model itself, but since this ship has so much history behind it, I'm going to have to kind of rush through it and give you all the Cliff Notes version of what this ship did in its very short career. So, to kick things off, this ship was commissioned in 1938, and it was the very first legitimate aircraft carrier to enter the Royal Navy. Now, what I mean by the legitimate is it wasn't a hull that was modified to be an aircraft carrier. It was designed around a flight deck, and it was designed to have an internal hangar bay. So that's pretty cool. Now, the ship itself was fairly modest in size. It was around 800 feet in length, a little over 22,000 tons, featured a 94-foot wide flight deck, which is actually pretty small. Must have been intimidating to land on. Anyways, it carried roughly 1,500 sailors, and she was designed initially to carry around 70 to 80 aircraft, but in the real world, she carried around 50 to 60. Now, her first action of deployment was in the North Atlantic to hunt U-boats. And here she was moderately successful, but the problem is that another aircraft carrier of the Royal Navy called the Courageous was sunk in this operation, and that pretty much indicated to the British Admiralty that, hey, this operation is just way too risky for aircraft carriers to participate in. So they sent the Ark Royal down to South Africa to hunt for the Graf Spee. And after that legendary mission, she was sent all the way back up to Norway to participate in operations there. And after that, she was sent to the Med, to where she did a whole bunch of things. One of the first things was incapacitating the Dunkirk French battleship. And there's just so many other things she did in the Med, too much to list. But after the Mediterranean operation, she participated in the legendary Hunt for the Bismarck mission, where her Swordfish torpedo aircraft landed a very critical blow on the Bismarck that basically sealed its fate. Unfortunately, not long after that mission is when the Ark Royal met her end. U-boat fired a single torpedo at her, hit her, and that's all it took to bring her down. Now, after she was sunk, I know the Admiralty did an investigation to see what went wrong, and the captain of the ship was found guilty for certain instances of negligence, even though he is mostly cleared because his concern at the time was saving his crew members, because the other aircraft carriers that had been sunk up to that point went down so quickly that the loss of life was significant. So at the end of the day, it was found that there was just some flaws with this ship, and it really would make it difficult to make it survive such an attack. So anyways, guys, that's it with the Ark Royal. Now, let's take a look at the model itself. Alright, and overall, I think once again, Forces of Valor did a great job with this ship. The paint apps look absolutely fantastic. The detail is also absolutely fantastic. You can see here the gun emplacements are very detailed, very easy to make out. I call them rescue boats. I know that's not the official name for it. But anyways, just all the details here are very, very, very well done. Here's the anchor. So, yeah, I think they did just an absolutely fantastic job with this ship. At first, I thought the scaling was actually a little bit off. I didn't realize how tall the Ark Royal was. But it turns out, no, this is pretty accurate. Here we can see propellers on the back. Here's going to be another side of it. About the only problem I found is that this thing right here is, the mast is, it's a little, well, it's leaning forward. That's a little annoying, but it can actually be easily remedied if I felt inspired to do so. But otherwise, the ship looks absolutely fantastic. I see no other signs of quality control issues. Maybe I just lucked out. But overall, I'm very satisfied with this ship, and anybody who's a fan of the Ark Royal definitely needs to pick this up if they haven't already. Now, with the ship, you also get this stand, and this is just a sticker. So it's nothing fancy, but it nonetheless completes the look pretty well. And you also get a number of aircraft. And I have them still in their little plastic container because, yeah, I don't want to lose them. So I'm not sure if my camera's going to pick this up, but you essentially have Swordfish and the Skuas, and I'm probably saying that wrong, but the Skua aircraft. you also have some of the swordfish with their wings swept back. So if you have if you're daring enough to take these aircraft out and to line them up along the flight deck, it would make for a very, very cool scene. And of course, you can divvy it up however you want. So overall, this is a great model. I definitely recommend it to anybody who's a fan of this series, a fan of 1x700 scale warships, and especially to those, like I said earlier, who love the Ark Royal. Great job, Forces of Valor, and guys, I really hope to go back to making these models. They did such a great job with them. So with that said, thanks for watching, and until next time, peace.